I show you dishes you can make for that special someone. Today we're making Marry Me chicken pasta. It's been going viral online for a good reason because it's pretty easy to make and will for sure impress your date. Start by seasoning skin-on chicken thigh with salt and pepper on both sides. Add the chicken thigh skin side down to a cold pan and flip once the skin is nice and golden brown. Remove the chicken and in the same pan add olive oil and butter to saute onions and garlic until translucent. Add tomato paste and gochujang, and once it becomes a deep red color, deglaze with white wine. Once the wine has mostly evaporated, go in with chicken stock and bring it to a simmer before adding heavy cream. Now add sun-dried tomatoes, gochugaru, oregano, lemon zest and juice, and basil. Once the sauce has thickened, season with salt and pepper and add the chicken back to the pan until fully cooked. When the chicken is cooked, remove it and add your favorite pasta along with a little pasta water. Grate in some parm, and when it sounds like this, plate it up and enjoy. Welcome to Table for Two, where I show you dishes you can make for that special someone. Today we're making a classic Caesar salad. I normally don't crave salads, but when I do, it's always a Caesar, so here's how to make a restaurant quality one at home. Start by finely mincing anchovies until it turns into a paste, and combining it with grated garlic, egg yolks, Dijon mustard, Worcestershire sauce, lemon zest, and lemon juice. Give that a whisk, and once fully combined, slowly drizzle in olive oil until it becomes a sauce consistency. This could take a while, but you can use an immersion blender if you don't want a forearm workout. Add in a little honey, then grate in parm and season with salt and pepper. Let that sit in the fridge while you cut the root off of romaine or little gem lettuce and separate each leaf. Let that soak in ice cold water before draining and drying it out. Now instead of croutons, which cut up the roof of my mouth most of the time, we'll be making a breadcrumb topping by toasting panko breadcrumbs with butter and adding in grated garlic, lemon zest, salt, and pepper. Now toss the lettuce with the Caesar dressing and plate it up with some grated parm and the toasted breadcrumbs. Enjoy! Hungry? Let me show you how to make this super easy Chinese steamed egg. I make this almost every day for breakfast because it takes less than 30 minutes to prepare, and you'll be surprised how delicious something so simple can taste. Start by whisking together a couple of eggs with water and seasoning with chicken bouillon and salt. Strain that into a bowl and scoop out any bubbles to make sure the egg custard stays nice and silky smooth. Cover with plastic wrap, poke a few holes, and let that steam for 15 minutes while you make a simple sauce by combining soy sauce, sesame oil, and sugar. Now serve the steamed egg with the sauce and some scallions on top, and that's it. Enjoy. Let me show you how to make this classic Thai green curry. It's super easy to make, ready in less than 30 minutes, and tastes just as good as ordering takeout. Start by slicing up Thai eggplant and chicken. In a wok, add coconut milk and cook it until it has reduced and become nice and thick. Add green Thai curry paste and let that saute for a few minutes until the natural oils in the coconut milk come out. Now toss in the chicken and mix until fully coated. Pour the rest of the coconut milk, chicken broth, and season with palm sugar, fish sauce, and crushed lime leaves. Let that simmer for 15 minutes before adding bamboo and the eggplant. Let that cook until the eggplant is tender, and add red chilies if you like it spicier, and a handful of Thai basil. Now serve it up with some hot rice, and that's it. Enjoy! Have you tried this dish? This is moussakhan, the national dish of Palestine, made with roast chicken and caramelized onions, primarily seasoned with sumac and other spices. If you haven't had it, I highly recommend you give it a try. Start by seasoning chicken with Palestinian olive oil, salt, baharat, which is a Middle Eastern spice blend, and sumac. Once the chicken is coated in the seasoning, roast it in the oven while you slice a bunch of onions. Now in a pot, add olive oil and slowly caramelize those onions with salt, more baharat, and a lot of sumac. The onions should almost confit with the amount of olive oil you should use. Now toast pine nuts and slivered almonds in olive oil until golden brown. When the chicken is cooked, soak taboon, which is a Palestinian flatbread, in those chicken juices and toast in the oven until warm through. Serve the taboon with the caramelized onions and chicken and top it off with the toasted pine nuts and almonds. Currently, Palestine is facing severe starvation. So as someone who loves feeding others, I hope you take a bit of time to please donate and spread awareness to help the people of Palestine. Welcome to Never Have I Ever, where I attempt to make dishes from around the world that I've never made before. Today we're making one of the best dishes from Peru, lomo saltado. Start by making the ají verde sauce by blending together cilantro, jalapenos, garlic, cotija cheese, lime juice, ají amarillo paste, and mayonnaise. Season with salt and pepper and blend until smooth. You could put this sauce on anything and it'll taste good. Now chop up red onions and tomatoes, mince garlic and ginger, and slice a tender cut of beef like ribeye or filet mignon. For the sauce, combine soy sauce, oyster sauce, vinegar, and ají amarillo paste. Now fry up some frozen fries until perfectly golden brown and set that aside while you sear the beef, seasoning with salt and pepper. Once browned, set the beef aside and saute onions until translucent. Add garlic and ginger, and once fragrant, add the tomatoes and cook for a couple of minutes before adding back the beef and pouring in the sauce. Once the sauce comes to a simmer, toss in the fries and season with a little cumin powder. Mix until everything is coated in the sauce and serve with some rice and the ají verde sauce. And that's it. Enjoy. I attempt to make dishes from around the world that I've never made before. Today we're making one of the best curries from Indonesia, beef rendang. Start by soaking dried red chilies under hot water while you prep the aromatics by chopping up shallots, garlic, ginger, galangal, lemongrass, and turmeric. Add all of that to a blender along with the soaked chilies and candle nut. Give it a blitz until it turns into a paste, then grind up a mixture of coriander, cumin, and fennel. Saute the curry paste in oil for 10 minutes to bring out the flavor, then add cinnamon, star anise, green cardamom, cloves, the spice mix, bay leaves, and bruised lemongrass. Saute until fragrant before adding the beef, and stir until the beef is fully coated in the curry paste. Now add in coconut milk, crushed lime leaves, salt, and coconut or palm sugar. Simmer on low for 2 hours, stirring occasionally while you toast coconut flakes until golden brown and pound it into a paste. Add that to the rendang along with tamarind paste, then raise the heat and simmer until most of the liquid has evaporated and the curry has turned dark brown. Serve with some white rice, and that's it. Enjoy. We're making bun xeo, which is a crispy, savory Vietnamese crepe filled with pork and shrimp. Start by making the sauce by whisking together sugar and warm water until the sugar is dissolved and adding fish sauce, minced garlic, Thai chilies, vinegar, and lime juice. Let that cool down in the fridge while you soak mung beans under cold water. For the bun xeo batter, combine rice flour, cornstarch, salt, turmeric, cold club soda or beer, and coconut milk. Give that a whisk before adding sliced green onions and let that chill in the fridge for at least 30 minutes. Now heat a pan with oil and saute sliced onions, pork belly, and shrimp until the pork is nicely caramelized and the shrimp is mostly cooked through. Move the contents to half of the pan and pour the batter, giving it a swirl to coat the entire pan. Add the soaked mung beans and bean sprouts and cover with a lid for a couple of minutes. Remove the lid and add a little more oil around the edges to get it nice and crispy. Then fold. Serve with the fish sauce, lettuce, and herbs, and that's it. Enjoy. Have I ever, where I attempt to make dishes from around the world that I've never made before. Today we're making one of the most iconic dishes from India, pani puri. With its crisp shell, spiced filling, and tangy pani or water, it has to be one of the best street foods in the world. Start by boiling soaked black chickpeas with salt until soft, and do the same to whole white potatoes. Peel the cooled down potatoes and add it to a bowl along with the black chickpeas, chopped red onion, cilantro, and green chilies. Season with cumin, coriander, Kashmiri chili, chopped masala, black salt, and kosher salt. Then give that a rough mash until fully incorporated. Now make the pani by blending together fresh herbs like cilantro and mint, aromatics like ginger and green chilies, plus tamarind concentrate, jaggery, which is a type of sugar, a mix of spices including pani puri masala, chopped masala, cumin, coriander, black salt, and kosher salt. Then finish it off with lime juice and cold water. Strain the pani into a bowl, adding in ice and bundi, then serve with the homemade or store-bought puri, the potato filling, and tamarind date chutney. And that's it. Enjoy. Welcome to Never Have I Ever, where I attempt to make dishes from around the world that I've never made before. Today we're starting off with jollof rice. Now there's a huge debate whether Nigerian jollof is better than Ghanaian jollof, but today we're making the Nigerian version. Start by making the jollof base by adding red bell peppers, onions, tomatoes, scotch bonnets, ginger, and garlic to a sheet tray. Drizzle with oil, season with salt, and roast in the oven for about 40 minutes until slightly charred before blending until smooth. Now in a pot, saute chopped onions with oil until translucent, then go in with tomato paste and let that cook for a few minutes before adding bay leaves, curry powder, thyme, and chicken bouillon. Once the spices are toasted and aromatic, add the jollof base, chicken stock, and season the taste with salt. From here, add washed parboiled long grain rice, and once fully incorporated, pour in more chicken stock until it reaches barely over the rice. Cover with aluminum foil and the lid and cook on medium-low heat for about 40 minutes, raising the heat to medium in the last 10 minutes of cooking. Finally, fluff it up, mixing in butter, and that's it. Enjoy. Today we're making miso black cod. It's one of the most iconic dishes at Nobu, but you can easily make it at home without having to spend $50 at the restaurants. Start by making the marinade by heating together sake and mirin. When the alcohol is fully cooked off, add sugar and stir until fully dissolved. Now whisk in white miso paste and let that cool on the side while you slice black cod at an angle. Rinse the fish with a bit of sake to get rid of any fishiness and prepare a brine made of cold water and salt. Let the cod sit in the brine for 10 minutes, then pat it dry. Add the cooled miso marinade to the fish, making sure each piece is fully coated, and let that sit in the fridge for 3 days for best results. After the 3 days, place it on a sheet tray, wiping off any excess marinade, and broil on high heat for 8 to 10 minutes until nicely caramelized on top. Serve it with some pickled ginger and garnish with chives, and that's it. Welcome to Table for Two, where I show you dishes you can make for that special someone. In my opinion, there's no better way to impress your date than by making them a properly cooked steak. One that's perfectly edge-to-edge medium rare, tender, and juicy. If your significant other's asking for a steak that's well done, you gotta leave them. Start by getting a well-marbled ribeye that has a large cap and one that's around 2 inches thick. Season generously with salt on both sides and let that dry brine in the fridge for a few hours till overnight. You know it's properly brined if the steak is dry to the touch. Now let that come to room temperature for about 30 minutes and patiently heat up a heavy bottom pan on medium-high heat for a few minutes. Add a layer of high smoke point oil and sear the steak for a couple of minutes, constantly moving it to ensure an even crust. Before flipping it, wait for a few seconds to let the pan get hot again and sear the other side for another couple of minutes. Let the steak rest and the pan cool down on medium heat before adding butter, garlic, thyme, and rosemary. Once the butter is fully melted, quickly baste each side of the steak for no more than 20 seconds or it'll get a larger gray band. Place it in a 250-degree oven for 7 to 10 minutes until it reaches around 10 degrees lower than your desired doneness. Let it rest for 10 minutes, slice it up, serve with black pepper and flaky salt, and that's it. Enjoy!